Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. All right. Hey, Shahjahan, how's it going? Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, everything is good. How about you folks? How are you doing? कैसी गुजर रही जिंदगी? Alhamdulillah, Allah ka shukar. Naveen Kumar says, "Hi, I'm an Angular developer. What is new today?" Jumped in there with a notification. I mean, there's many things going on with the Angular world. In general, you have the standalone components API. You have, I mean, if you're talking about Angular, then you have the new Vue Engine Ivy. I mean, that's old, but still on top of it, we got standalone components. We're talking about zoneless or going zoneless as soon as possible. We're talking about signals in Angular. There's so many things going on. I think in the recent one, I think it was 16.1 point something, where we also got the after render hook. So now we have on sort of a hook, sort of a function or lifecycle method that we can now use whenever there's a render or when there's the first render. And I think with the 16.2 release that was just released, we also have another cool feature developed by the Google Aurora team, that was the ability to assign a source to the ng optimized image. So there's so many things, so many cool things going on with Angular. Well, what are you working on, Naveen? How long will be the session so I can prepare myself? It is 11 p.m. on my side. Ooh. This is going to be regular chit chat. I'm going to be working on some projects. I don't think it's going to be something that I'm going to teach all the way, but I'm going to be coding. I'm going to be talking with you folks. I'm going to be answering questions, chatting with you. So that's the whole idea. This is not a full-fledged tutorial kind of stream. And I'm trying to not do those and rather just code, chat with you, connect with you more, because I can create a lot of videos and just upload them. But the point of a stream is to be able to chat with you guys and to connect with you more. Zawar Ahmed says, Assalamu alaikum, Ahsan bhai. How are you doing? Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good. How are you doing? Shah Jahan Sarfraz says, Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Good to know, brother. Good to know. Nuran Shah Amir Shah, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you doing? Is it, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Noor or Nuran? Or is it completely Nuran Shah? Are signals official now? Weren't they RFC feature? No, there's not in the RFC now. They have come out of the RFC and they're in the developer preview now. So again, they're not production ready, so to say, but they are in developer preview. So you can import signals from the Angular core package and you can use them definitely. I'm gonna try to show you an example if I can find it quickly, because I'm gonna be working on the Angular cookbook as well. So let's see if I can find it. Completely Nuran Shah. Awesome. That's a cool name. Nuran Shah. I like it. All right. So when we go to the screen and cam, let's see. Do I still display your chat? Yes, I do. Awesome. So I'm looking at the question. Salam those, are you going to do a bootcamp for React, or have you already done and posted on YouTube something like Zero to Hero on React? I do have a web development bootcamp, but I don't have a React bootcamp yet. I am planning to do it soon. I'm not sure when, because I'm trying to get the second version out. So if you know already, I am the author of this cool guy, the Angular Cookbook, and now I'm working on the second edition. So it's taking me quite a lot of time to work on it, because I made a lot of changes. The inner software architect in me, it can't stop itself from making changes or introducing cool stuff. So yeah, it took more time than I thought it would take, but I've made things really easy for the newcomers, for the new readers of the book, because previously we had 90 projects or 80 plus projects, but now we have essentially 2 projects to work with. So the dependencies are going to be aligned. If we wanted to upgrade to the new Angular version for the entire book, super easy. Instead of like 1 week, it would take maybe 30 minutes or more, or more or less the same. So, but yeah, I think the things that I've included, so good. But yes, it's taking more time. So once I'm done with the book, then I can start looking into courses or things like that. So there is still time. I'm gonna try to see if I can increase the chat widget to be more to have mm, a bit more font size. Or can you see your message as well? Is it good enough? Should I increase the font size? What do you think? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Nuran says thank you, no problem. Amar Madi says React or Angular. Is that a question between my choice of React and Angular, Amar, or what is the question? Naveen says I'm taking increase. Okay, so let's increase it to like this. Is it better now? So Naveen says I'm taking Angular classes in rural development. Students requesting for real world example using NGRX. Aha, okay. Um, can you suggest something that is available on the web? Thank you for your response. Mm, I mean, it depends. Sorry, give me 1 second. So if you're teaching real world examples with NGRX, I think the easiest way would be to help them build something that is small yet something that they would use. That's what I usually do. So have them build, I don't know, maybe a simple chat application with Firebase, but then also using NGRX within it. Or you could try to, even if it's not Firebase, if you have a simple database, that could also work. Or if you're trying to manage, um, because when it comes to NGRX, what I usually think of is how which components would or which apps would really use NGRX. So Redux, even though it's really cool, it's not, I don't think it's fun to use everywhere, to be honest. So when I think of NGRX, I usually think of which applications would require me to share the state among multiple components or multiple pages, etc. So if you want to teach them something like that, then you would have to come up with a real world example. I don't know, maybe come with something like a wallet application which could have multiple pages. You could go to, for example, the history page, and there you could show the all the items in the history, but then on the top you are still showing the wallet price, or the wallet amount. In that case, you have your wallet in a singular store that you can show in the header the value of it. You can show it on the wallet page, and you can show it in the history page. So just a quick example. So yeah, that could be one of the things. Sri says hi. Hey Sri, how's it going? Best of luck with your book. Thank you so much, Rafi. Increase already. Can you check what I said? Muhammad Atif. Oh, I missed your message. Sorry. Been an Angular developer for a year, and at work I don't ask any more questions. What's next? Become a senior. So the thing is, if you don't ask any questions, that doesn't mean that you are a senior. So how can you say you are a senior would depend on what have you built so far. So if you have just implemented a bunch of UIs, libraries, but you have not architected um, apps from scratch that scale for a bunch of modules, maybe 20 or 30 modules, try to see how you can create a big application. And if you have done that in a good manner, and you have researched, you have studied, you have seen how the influencers, or not the influencers, but the people who have been working with Angular, how they do it, how the software industry does it, then you are a senior engineer. So what's next would be, if you already have Angular knowledge, do you know the latest things that are coming to Angular? Do you know about signals, standalone components, micro front ends, how to create a progressive web application? For me, that's a really good question, Atif. So first of all, good question, because that was me as well. Because at some point I was like, okay, I know a lot about Angular. I've created some libraries. Now what's next for me? So on a side track, I started looking into performance, or sort of web performance, on how I can increase my website's performance in general that benefits SEO, that benefits the load time. So I started looking into Chrome DevTools, the matrices, Lighthouse, things like that. So I would say start looking into those things. So I looked into your message already, Atif. Cool, cool, cool. If your application is bigger, you can use NGRX. Yes, exactly. I mean, you don't necessarily you need to use NGRX, but it is one of the choices. Yes, absolutely. I mean, you if you want, you can manage things with observables. You can manage things with signals even. But I think NGRX provides you much more flexibility when it comes to the Redux extension. Sort of being predictable that okay, you can always tell where to debug if my state changes, and it's really easy to work with as well. So obviously, yes, a good choice. I want to be an architect. I worked in Angular for 8 years. Can you suggest, Naveen? Naveen, I think you've been working for obviously quite a while. It's a good amount of years when you work with Angular. I would say look into creating, because when you talk about being an architect is supposed to answer questions, as in, for example, see if I can bring this guy. Hey chat, come here. Sorry, I'm fixing things in production, but I think I'm used to it now. Let's go back. So being an architect, you would have to be able to tell use this approach or that approach for architecture, how to distribute your modules. If you had three different Angular applications and you had to build a design system for them, how would you make it work? Would you publish the design system on npm? Would you use something like Nx as a monorepository that builds along with the applications? How would you structure your code? How would you structure your modules? Would you use preloading in some of the applications or not? How would you make sure your application is fast? How would you make sure that your releases are consistent, well documented, well planned, using the Semver? How would you make sure you have automation tools in place? How would you make sure that you have CI/CD in place? How do you define standards within the organization or the team so they essentially follow the same sort of way of coding, but also then releasing, publishing, creating pull requests? What are the rule sets? So I think those are the things that essentially, when you keep on doing them, when you establish those things within the team, then you're looked at as an architect. So I think those are going to be the basic things. But then obviously, so architecture comes with both the analysis of this approach versus that approach when it comes to different situations. So the more you try doing it, the more situations you get into, try to find opportunities for those. And once you feel comfortable, then obviously you can say, all right, now I'm an architect. So if you give me an Angular application, I can architect it without any issues. So yes, that is it. I'm going to take more questions as well. Uh, so I'm following up on your question, Naveen. You said, please you share your journey on how to become an architect, or what you suggest, basically the journey. Let me try to see if I can use it wisely. Give me 1 second. I want to use it. I want to use this nicely, like this, so then everybody can see that. And now I don't see your messages. Sorry. All right. Until I get more questions, let's go with this guy. All right. So this is the question that we are looking at. Please share your journey on how to become an architect. Let's move this guy from here. So um, my journey has been that I have started applications from scratch quite a lot, and I have grown to build applications from scratch that were then either published to stores, had a lot of users using the application, and then had a lot of modules. So that's how I tried to work with more architects, learned from them, and then just built a lot of applications for different companies. And then once I got comfortable with that, then I got this exposure or experience that whenever there came a situation like, hey, could you work could you help us know how do we build our application? Should we use Ionic for it? Should we use React Native for it? And if React Native, then how should we structure our code? Or can you, for example, a lot of sort of situations that came to me was, please look at this code find out the issues, and then document them. So you have to already have built a lot of applications in order to for sort of have that exposure. So I think that is the key. So if you try to work on it, if you try to get into more situations like that, I think you're going to be very close to being an architect. Atif says, thank you, I appreciate it. No problem at all. Hanif Ahmed Khan says, I'm a WordPress developer. What is the best option for me with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or React? I would suggest looking into JavaScript core as much as you can. So go through the basic concepts for this one. Once you understand them well, once you know about the loops, the switch conditions, and there's only a few of them. So once you understand the basic concepts, then you can jump to React or Angular and whatnot. So you have multiple choices. But the idea is that you at least know the basic concepts really well. It doesn't matter if you start with React even. So even if you start with React, you would have to on the side learn the core concepts. Sri is asking, if you start from scratch learning Angular, what are the resources you will suggest? I think the best resource is the angular.io. So if you go there, there is a tutorial of the Tour of Heroes. If you can get this book as well. I can definitely recommend this book, the Angular Cookbook. But I'm recommending this because I wrote this book. Yay! And the reason for that is, so if you don't know already, I'm a Google Acknowledge expert in Angular. So if you see that guy right there, that is a Google's certificate of being an expert in Angular, which means that I'm listed on the Google on the developers.google site that, hey, this guy is an expert. So my experience has been now more than 10 years with Angular itself. I started in 2013 with Angular 1.x, and I've grown to work with Angular since then. So if from my opinion, I have curated a lot of information throughout the years and I've put that into the book. So if you can get this book from Amazon, it's called the Angular Cookbook. It's one of the best resources out there. I think there are other books as well. There's another book called Angular Projects, which also got a recent update as well. So you can also look into that as well. This book, I think the book's strength is that it comes with this notion of, hey, you have this problem, you follow these steps, and then you have a solution for that. So it's because it's a cookbook, it's in the form of recipes. And I really like it because then you start with an application, you follow certain steps, and then you end up at the solution of it, and then you can evaluate, all right, how did this happen, and you can look into the code and sort of study it as well. So I hope that makes sense. Alrighty, that seems nice. So I think what we can do with this guy is maybe make it, can we make it up top? Like, no. Why is there nothing like this? Like this maybe? And then we can see some chat messages. No, I think when it'll come to the time, we'll use this page. Okay, so let's quickly look into what we were looking at with Angular. So I was working with the, and feel free to ask questions while we are here. Chat restream, chat. There we go. Oops, bring this guy down. I'm fixing things on production as always. Where are you? There you are. Come down here. Cool. Awesome. So I think I answered all the questions. Cool. So what I was working on was this little recipe, which has the ng on push strategy. So npm run what was it? To serve ng on push strategy. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the Angular cookbook's recipe for the second edition. Hmm. Anime says, "Sir, finally मेरे को job मिल गया as Angular developer." Awesome! Can everyone give Animesh a big hand? By that I mean clapping. So congratulations! It's amazing to know that. Awesome, awesome. Is that an internship job or क्या scene है? And what is the company name? What is the company name? Oh no, glasses are super, super, super weird. Shah Bukhari वालेकुम अस्सलाम व रहमतुल्लाह. So look at this recipe. इसमें what we did was both. Did I finish that? I hope I finished that. I hope. Not a big company, just an internship. It doesn't matter, bro. If even if it's a small company, big company, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. The first thing is that you get into the company as soon as possible. Just get the first job, and then it's a the you will see that the whole experience would change. So it's a huge difference between just studying at home and then when you get into a company. It's amazing. So I wish you all the best for what's coming next. It's amazing that you got a job or it's an internship. Awesome. Shahjahan says, I also got internship as a software development engineering intern. Yay! Awesome, Shahjahan. Can you listen? Oh, yeah, you can. Awesome. There was a there was a software. Maybe we can set it up together. But I wanted to show you an the difference. Oh no! What? No. Oh, I didn't fix it. That's sad. That's super sad. I need to fix it, but we'll do it. There is a software called Voice Mod, and I want to try it out with you folks. So what I want to do is, let's see. Could you give me a thumbs up when you listen to my voice? Wait a second. In three, two, one. Now, can you listen to me? Can you hear my voice? Can I get some thumbs up? Just make sure that I'm being listened to. Can I get some thumbs up? Okay. Cool. Then let me know now you should be able to hear me, but the voice changer doesn't work. Okay, so we will not test it at the moment. It would be fun though. चलें, I'm looking at some of the messages. It's still no sound. Now you should be able to hear me. That's fine. Okay, how to contribute as open source since I'm a beginner. Sri, go to first time contributors GitHub. So go here. You should be able to put your first contribution here. So this is how you get started. And in here, you will find a fork this repository, clone, blah, 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 create a branch, and then you do this and that. So you can do this for your first contribution, and then you can start looking into actual real projects. But you can start right here. Give me 1 second. So looking at the other messages now. Can you see my reactions? I think I answered that one already. Oh, that's interesting. There's no scroll on the entire view. What? Why? You can see I can't scroll. Damn, okay. I need to do things myself then. Overflow. Auto, maybe. Overflow hidden. Why overflow hidden? Overflow scroll. Interesting. This one has overflow auto. And then we have chat messages. Overflow auto max height 700 pixel. So at least we have it here now. Cool. Challenge. हमने किसी का fix कर दिया issue. All right. Not a big company. Thank you. How to contribute to open source as a beginner? I think we responded to that. DevOps or web development in future? I can't see the future, but I would still say web development because I don't think it's going anywhere. DevOps key opportunities, I think they're not so much or not as much as in web dev. But that also means that if you're a really good DevOps engineer, then you have a really good chance of getting a job. As in by what to do when you don't find the kick in your day-to-day job when the projects are not challenging, then you can start side projects. Just work on things that you want to do and then make them your passion projects. So create a lot of projects yourself. Make them in a way that other people would love to use your application, even if they don't. But when you create such an application, you can at least show them in their interviews and say, all right, look at this, what I built. And people are usually amazed when you show those things, right? Shahjahan Sarfaraz, how to participate in open source programs when you're just learning? As I said, look into first time contributions. I will just share this in the chat as well, so you can see that. So look into this, try out this whole thing. And then the next step is usually that you go to GitHub and then you start trying to search for contribution. So you can say, for example, label, and here you can say good first, I think that's the label. So if I search, for example, issues, good first, no, good first. Wait a second, I should probably Google it. So GitHub, good first issue, label search. And here, issues, blah, blah, blah. Good first issue. Here. So that's the topic that you want to search for. Okay? So about 1200 public repositories that match this. So contributions welcome, good first issue, those are the kind of projects you want to work on. Isme, you can also filter more by looking into by just searching for things like JavaScript or having more filtered solution in this case. So language, you can go with JavaScript. Sort by most stars, or you can say fewest stars. If you want to find something quicker, go with fewest stars. So here you can see we have a sample login sign up and password reset page. So sample login, it's quiz time. Maybe start with this one. So there are good issues here. So there's so many things that you could learn from this one. Okay, I'll share the link in the chat right now. I have a problem of continuously, or sorry, I missed your question. So, what to do when you find cake in your day job? I think I answered this one. So, yeah, just do different projects. I have a problem of continuously changing technology without mastering, but this time I promise myself to master Flutter, and then if I want, I can change the technology. But the other day I saw a DevSync survey and it showed that Flutter has the least demand, and everyone around me saying is that Flutter is an easy technology. This is demotivating. What should I do? So first of all, I don't think Flutter is an easy technology. I would say look into the people who actually have I would say look into the people who actually say this and see if they have achieved something in their lives, if they're really good architects. Even if they say it's an easy technology, I think our job is to be a software engineer and to help people and products and companies to build software. Our job is not to learn the toughest technology in the world. If that's your goal, then learn COBOL, Fortran, C++, be good at it. So even if someone says, for example, JavaScript is easy, I'm like, meh, it might be. I don't care. I get money by working as a JavaScript engineer. That's enough for me. Even if it's easy or hard, who cares? So I would say just ignore those people. And when it comes to Flutter, I think Google is pushing Flutter quite a lot. So it's not something Google is investing a lot of money in obviously promoting Flutter, having people use it. So it's something that is not going anywhere. It's a good technology to work with. That's what I think. Can you see my reactions? You're silent. Are you talking? We have been through this. Ahmed says, I've been working on it for the last 6 months. I would say just continue working on it. The goal, Ahmed, would be to be really good at it. Just strive for excellence. Strive to be a really good Flutter engineer. Learn about animations, learn about state management, learn about complex architecture, learn about different plugins that you could use with Flutter. Especially, and the most important thing is that build applications that you would use yourself daily. Think of those things that you want to do with applications and then build that application. I think that's the best thing that you can do for yourself as a software engineer. All right. Is it really true that market is in the bad condition right now regarding the web development jobs? What's your take on that? Thanks. So Unknown 7, market is really bad after COVID. It has hurt a lot of people and it has not recovered still yet. People are struggling to get jobs. People are struggling to create businesses. But I think web development in general is still going to go because every new company, every new startup, when they come, they need a website. They need a web app. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere. So don't worry about it. Just focus on your work. How do you use a debugger after upgrading from Angular 12? Now I'm unable to debug my project. Naveen Kumar. That's interesting. Do you have a GitHub repository that I can look at? Because I think the idea should be once you upgrade, and what is the version you are at right now, Naveen? Which Angular version are you at? Are you at 16? And what do you mean by unable to debug your project? Could you give an example of what you see? I'm using Angular 15. Okay, then I got your accent. But I found a way using main.js. Is that the right way? Not really. So if you're building your application in dev mode, then you should still get the source maps. So look into your Angular JSON, look into your Webpack file as well, or Webpack configuration as well. There might be some misconfiguration. Are you using any custom configuration, by the way? Because it should not be the case. If you're running in dev mode, then you should get your source code. For example, this is Angular 16. So if I go to sources, I can see main.js, right? But I should be getting, if I go all the way down here, you see that here we see the source mapping URL, main.js map, and here we have the source maps as well. So I can actually click anywhere, but this will take me to the actual code as well. For example, let's say, let's go to search users, for example, right? So as soon as I clicked on it, you can see that it opened user service for me automatically. So this means that the source maps are working fine in Chrome debugger. So if your source maps are not working, then you should check your configuration. Maybe there's something wrong with that. So I hope that helps. Shahab Bukhari says, I have good experience in React, Next, Node, AWS, test-driven development, but what should I work on next? Anything, project, ideas, open source, anything that's also challenging with I can make, which can make you a robust developer. Shahab, I think, as I said, try contributing, try creating projects that you would use or anyone would use, or try to find open source projects. For example, I have so many open source projects. If you go to github.com/ahsanayaz, you'll find tons and tons of repositories that you can contribute to. Let's see if I can find something if you're a senior JavaScript developer, why was this updated 6 hours ago? What changed? Oh, maybe we got a pull request? What? Project not found. Why was this updated 6 hours ago? That doesn't make sense. What? I don't know. Anyways, let's see. I know there was a project. For example, NGX device detector, go here, go to issues, and you can see a lot of projects or a lot of issues right here, which have this label, add device to regex. This is the simplest one. So try out this project, see if you can contribute to this, if you can make this better. We have some issues that are, for example, just adding devices to regex. Some are feature requests. There are so many things that you could do. So look into these projects. I'm going to share the link right here. Okay. So I hope that makes sense, Shahab. And you can connect with me on Discord and ask for more projects as well, and I can probably share some with you. I also had this one, Sigma Memer. I don't think I need a feature here, but it would be awesome if you have an idea, you can ask, or you can share that and we can see what we can do with that. But this was a project as well. I'm not sure if you have seen this one. So this was also a passion project and I built for a tutorial. For example, tell me a meme or a type of meme that you want me to pick. What should I search here for the meme? Can you write a query for me? I'm looking at the chat right now. Shahjahan says there's a decent amount of demand for Flutter development in Pakistan. That's 100% true. Ahmed says my point by it's easy is that it's enter than other technologies and it's really saturated. It's what I get to hear from people continuously, but I will ignore them, as you said. Yeah, don't listen to them. It's stupid. Whatever they're saying is totally stupid. Simplorian says, CodewithAhsan, hello, Simplorian. How are you doing? Yeah, I saw a notification, but I didn't get a chance to see the message. Sorry. Something I figure out a solution, but I'm not sure how to good my solution. I mean, it's working, but that doesn't mean it's good solution. Want to see? You can send me on Discord, and I can see when I get the chance. Naveen says, I want to connect with you personally, but it's hard to type here. Send me a message on LinkedIn, Naveen. I'm very easy to reach. I'm not sure if I would be able to give you one-to-one session, but if it's something that I can just reply to you on a message, I would definitely do so. Saeed, hello friend. Hello to you too, Saeed. What is your opinion about the future of Python in web apps? I think it's a great technology. Keep using it. I think it's really nice, especially for data science and whatnot. It's really nice. GitHub doesn't track commits time in real time. Like if your PC's date time is not synced, it changes will be according to the time on the system. Aha, it could be the case. Gorilla developers. Exactly, yes. Gorilla developers. Let's see. I can probably search gorilla. No, there's nothing for the memes there. Maybe monkey. This one. All right, so I've got this one right now. You need to tell me a text for top and a text for bottom. So there's going to be, if I write something right here, test, it's going to show up right here on top. If I write something in the bottom, it would show up right here. So give me a text for the top and for a bottom. You can write something like top, this one, and bottom, that one. So give me a text for top, the top text and the bottom text. Can you suggest some resources for Web 3.0? For sure. There is a really cool team. I think if I'm doing it correctly. Build space. I think it was build space if I remember correctly. Was it CEO? I'm not really sure which one was it. Build space web 3. I think it was this one, right? Was it a website? Yeah, that was the one. So these folks had really good resources, but I'm not sure if they're doing still the same thing. But if you want, you can also look into my channel. I think there's a video on Web 3 as far as I remember. Web 3. Yeah, this one. Try this one out. I think the tutorial is still follows pretty well. So the talk, you said top is when someone is looking at me. Someone is looking at me while coding. That's a top text. Okay. All right. So that's your top text. No bottom text then? Shall we generate this? Probably bring this here. Now that I see this, it seems like when you scroll down, it's like a what? It's like so much space. Create a PR for this one. make this one centered up top. That make a PR. So let's generate this. Click to download your meme. There we go. And now here's the meme. All right. Should we publish this to our Facebook then? And I can tag you if I can find you. All right, let's do it here. Shahjahan Sarfaraz. Will Facebook be able to find you? I don't know. Do you see yourself here? I can only see one guy with no image. What's your Facebook? If you want to share, or I can just say Shahjahan Sarfaraz. But I wrote Shahjahan Sarfaraz. Okay, cool. Then that's good. Let's go with that one. Cool. It's live. So it's a really cool application. This was also something that I started as a side project. So that's how you build your experience in general. So this obviously talks to an API. There's a backend deployed. There's a front end deployed. Everything happens in real time. So here, yeah, you can see all of these come in. You can pick this guy. I think it would be nice to be able to see the text when we write on top of it. Also, I think one feature could be if I've selected something and if I delete everything, then it should not go away. Right now it goes away. So you see, if I remove it, everything changes, right? So that's not fun. So I built this for a tutorial, or this guy. So I could select this again. So it's nice. I think it's not, it's Sarfaraz, not Sarfaraz. Ah, okay. Let's fix that. There we go. Okay. So on mobile screens or on tablets, this seems nice. I think even on desktop, it should be probably centered as well. So that could be also a PR. How are you working? Are you using an API for images? Yes, I am using an API. So there was a tutorial that I created. I think if I can find it, meme, this one. So this video contains the tutorial. So in this one, what we built was there is a site called Rapid API. Really cool people. And they have a bunch of APIs that you can use free. So for example, if you look for API Hub, there are many free freemium APIs. Do I have to do this? I think I signed up with Google already. Let's try this. They've changed a lot of things since I created the tutorial. So here you do have free APIs. So public APIs, private APIs, top weather APIs, blah, blah, blah. I think, so free SMS API is right here. Then I think I searched for memes. Meme generator. I think this is the one that I use. So this one takes these things like top tags, bottom, meme, font size, and font. So what I do is my front end application talks to my backend, but my backend talks to this API. So this API also charges you based on the number of times you try to access it. So there are multiple endpoints. For example, generate meme is one of those. And then also there are images. So get images. When we do get images, we get all of these things. So what I right now do is I cache it or I cache these ones, so I don't have to make these calls all the time. But then I don't have the latest data. So, but that's fine. So when I when I search the first one, I get a bunch of names, but I think I'm limiting them to only 10. So, but yeah, these are APIs that will charge you. There could be some APIs which are free as well. For example, this one, I think I'm on no plan, the basic one. So there are about 1,000 requests a month. So this is the one that I've currently subscribed. So I can basically have 1,000 requests without any payment. Okay, cool. I think I also created one API. It was Scorer. The Scorer Pro. Yeah. I think no one uses it, to be honest. I would be surprised if anyone uses it at all. No one uses it, of course. 30 days. No one. Maybe 1 year. I would be definitely sure no one would use it. Okay. How is this working? I already answered that. CodewithAhsan, I message you in Discord. Awesome. Thank you. Can you do a quick overview of why should we use REM in CSS if possible? You should use it when your fonts change or you want to work with the device's font size or readability, because that changes quite significantly if you are working with an iPhone of a particular resolution versus an Android phone of a particular resolution, or any other phones, to be honest. So I think when it comes to um, the device's font size and being flexible about it based on your initial font size, that's where it really becomes handy. You can get away with even pixels in some cases, but I think it's preferred to use REM in most situations. But I think you have to really know what you're doing when it comes to REM, if that makes sense. Okay, I think it's good enough. Shahjahan says, I also created an API second week of my internship. It was with Python, which was scraping and downloading the video whose link user provides. That's nice. So Shahjahan, one of the things about Rapid API is that you can create your own API and then you can sell it here. So the idea would be you can basically have your settings. I think not the settings, but I think where was it? Hub listing here. So when you go to monetize, you can define plans. So you can say, all right, what I can do is I can give you 1,000 requests per month, but then if you go to pro, then I can give you 10,000. And the fun part is that Rapid API automatically can can look into these things and charge the users on behalf of you. So Rapid API manages all of that, if that makes sense. So it's a really cool tool if you want to make an API. Oh, you created something that downloads from TikTok. That sounds nice. I think that's then similar to what we have on Snaptik or something, right? Because I use Snaptik when it comes to downloading from TikTok. All right, you shared it already. Cool. Awesome. So yeah, people can contribute to this one. We also had Focus Doro. That's a passion project that I was working on also. So people can contribute to this one as well. It's something is that is right now in beta at the moment, and I'm constantly evaluating and sort of making it better. But I think this could also be improved quite a lot. Maybe if I can find. Awesome, no problem at all. So I'm not sure if this one has focus Doro. Maybe it is in CodewithAhsan, which would be weird. Oh, it is here. Interesting. Last commit was August 30, 2022. What? Okay. So migrated to Angular 14. Cool, cool, cool. Yes. So no, but this one is private. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So I was talking about one of the things that I was supposed to work on today. So I need to work on the Angular cookbook, which I will work on. But before that, I just want to go to. Someone said, I saw your profile on Upwork. Do you still freelance? No, not really. I used to work before. Not at the moment. So this is. Can I fix something before I show you what I did? So we can compare this side by side. So this is final. Let's go to start, libs, no, apps, 12, source, app, component, loader, no, user card. If I refresh this now, I see the loader, cool, loader, cool. So let's see if I can turn off the notifications. Okay. So now, if I go to the app here, I don't see anything at all, but this user component is much more nicer. So let's add that. Or maybe I did. Oh, now I remember. I actually removed it because I wanted to. Okay, that was part of the recipe then. Okay. But let me show you like this. Maybe I can show you the exact difference. So look at this application. Right now you can see here, I can turn on focus mode. Yeah, that's something I could do as well, but then I'll miss other notifications. But let's do that. Focus mode, focus settings. Start focus session for 30 minutes. That makes sense. Clock needs an update. We are getting the update ready for you. Ooh, okay. Okay, so look at this color generation count. This says 3. If I try to write something and remove it, you see the count is 13. If I try to search, and the other ones all of them are 7, as you can see. The first one, I have to dig more into why this gets changed so many times. But let's say if I click outside, you see that the count changed, and I've built this application so that whenever there's a change detection, the color changes. So I can click inside, outside, there you see. So now if I just keep clicking inside, outside, you see the change detection happening, and you can see that the colors being changed because of that as well. Now I could click this click me, and that also changes. So this is when we have the regular change detection going on. The focus is in action settings. Isn't this the same one? So my do not disturb right now is on. I think that's the same one. No? Yes? No? I think that's the same one. Action center. Notifications and actions. Do not disturb. That's on. No? Turn or do not disturb automatically when playing a game. When I'm using an app in full screen mode. For the first hour up. Oh, this one. This is focus. But this is the same one. No? It's the same one. Or maybe I could say app notification from apps and other senders. I think this is the same one. Anyways, so now you can see that this takes a lot of time. Click right bottom corner and expand the options. Are you sure? No, I don't see it. All right, let's forget it. So in this case, if I just turn one single tiny thing on, now you'll see what happens. So all the count is 1. If I click inside, outside, nothing changes. No change detection. Clicking, no change detection. If I search this guy, now since I searched this guy, we have 2. If I remove it, we've got 3 on this guy, but the rest of them are just 2 because now these are being rendered for the second time. And this is amazing. So this is the recipe that I was working on, but I have to work on it in a different manner now by doing something similar, but not exactly. In the other one, we are just going to say, hey, change detection, just go away. And it would go away. That would be awesome. Okay. So yes, that's what we did. So no need to add it here. Awesome. One of the things that I need to do with Focus Doro, and please, if any one of you can, if any one of you want to contribute or let me or look into it, I can probably, let's see if I can find it. But I'm not sure if I would have to make this guy public or not. We'll see. So maybe not this one. But I definitely need help with NGX device detector. I think there was also another project as well, but we'll have a look at that. So, question: who wants to? I'm gonna have a quick look into my wife and son if they're still awake. So I'm gonna be right back, and I also need to clean my glasses. So be right back in about 5 minutes, and I'm gonna change the timer that says 5 minutes instead of 1 minute. So give me 1 second. There we go. Be right back. जा रहा हूँ मैं कंटिन्यू करो. All right, sorry about that. Back. I have my wipes with me as well. Wipes. Okay. All right, let's get these guys clean. Where am I? Okay. Okay, so once we are done with this, we're gonna look into the Angular cookbook. We're going to work on one recipe and then we'll call it a day. But obviously, if you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to ask. I will be happy to answer the questions. Okay, there we go. So let's bring in the cookbook view and we can look into the, let's see if I can find it. Restream chat, we can close this guy. Let's see, remove this guy, this guy. All right, let's see. So then we need my cookbook profile. There we go. Should have 12 here. And let's do it like this. Authentication, da da da. Okay. Okay, there we go. Click, 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 and boom. So we're gonna make it like this. Let's move this guy right here. Maybe move it a bit like this. There we go. Shahjahan, I'm back. What did I miss? No, nothing. I just went out. Now I'm starting to work on the Angular cookbook. So I'm going to be working on this application where, if I can get back this guy, chat. So I'm going to work on another application for performance optimizations where we can work with an app that has some problems, and then we're going to fix those problems. So the first recipe, I was showing you the first recipe, which was this guy. Let's bring this guy right here as well. And we're gonna work on the next one. Okay, cool. So we're gonna use the same application, but it's going to have a different solution. So right now, the solution that we have right here is we have the on push strategy that that fixes multiple rendering, and then we don't get any issues with the rendering as well. I think we don't have any console here, but if I try searching iron, it goes here, and then we don't have any more rendering. So color generation count is just 3. Now it's 4. If I go back, it should be, oh, why was the back button right there? If I go here, the back button is somewhat around here. Why? What? That doesn't make sense. So maybe something that we should fix. Let's see, why do we have a back button up there? It should be in the user details component. So this one is fixed, right? 20 top 2. So if I go here, we see the back button. Maybe I made it this way. Or shouldn't this be, maybe it shouldn't be fixed then. All right, let's remove this. So it should be then here, but then maybe it should be width full flex, and direction should be justify start, but then it jumps around. So maybe it should be absolute. Let's do it like this. H for T, that means 160 pixels. Let's do 20. So height should be 20, but then this one can be relative. This one can be absolute, and then could be top 0 and left 0. So now, maybe this whole thing should be a minimum width of full. No, minimum width of MD. Let's make it a minimum width of 500 pixels. This is still jumps, and that's what I don't like about it. So maybe let's do this. Once we have the user, I mean, we show the button when we have the user, but we don't. It takes more time when we have the user card in there. I'm thinking if I can do something about this, that this button doesn't get swapped, if you see what I mean. So let's see. If each user card's width is 288 pixel and is also block, right? Then this is the UX guy fiddling around stuff. So if this is the case, then this should still be I'm thinking. So this is the user detail component. The user detail component comes under the main component. The main component has the class content, min width. Now I'm thinking. So if I go to a medium, no, wait a second. I think the width, the MD width should be, or MD width full. No, let's think about it. So what I want to have is have them at least if you look at this guy, this is 248. This is also 248. If you look at where they are getting their width from, that would be the app user card, which has a height of 100%. The width is, however, determined with this guy. If someone has more width, then even then they don't really get the width. If I go to compute it, and let's see if I can go to width. So width is 248.24 pixel. And that comes with, when we are in the users list, we say grid gap, grid calls 1. and then we increase their, okay. But then if I go to the user card, does this have a particular width? I don't think so. Card max width SM, MX auto. So we do have a max width, but we don't have anything else. Okay. Let's have a look at this guy. So once we have a user component which gets the user card and also has the similar users, then and similar users by default is I user or it's undefined, and then you get the value. So if we go ahead and say that this can only be shown when we also have similar users, then should this solve the issue? Let's see. So if I refresh this, there is still a jump and I don't want that jump. So then it should be, instead of ng if being here, we should have it right here. And now there's no jump. I mean, there is a delay of showing or hiding, but not really something different. So we could still say something like style dot opacity equals, and here we can say if we have user and similar users, if they both exist, then we have the opacity as 1, otherwise 0. And we can also then have this guy a duration of 200. Is this shifted or not? No, I don't think so. So back, much better. I think I like this one much more than what we had before. So we go here, back, and then we go back. Cool. And this one also has this issue where you have a jumping search input. I don't like this. I mean, it doesn't really matter for the user, for the viewer, but still, I don't like it. So we do have a div. I don't know why this div doesn't do anything at all. Let's move this guy right here. Then we have this users thingy. Oh, what? What happened? What? I think I broke something and then it broke my keyboard as well. So Windows, Android, Mac OS. No, the keyboard seems fine. What are you talking about? What is wrong with you? Users. Revert. Discard. So let's see. This guy was like this, right? So we went to the users component. We said we want to remove this guy and have this like this. So we now have a flex call. We have a text right here. Saving users component, getting code from Tailwind CSS IntelliSense ESLint. My PC has become super slow. Cancel. So now it looks like this by removing a div. It makes perfect sense. All right, let's see what it was before. So now let's have a look at this div. So this is the section, row width full, and this is the div. Flex column, gap 4, MD flex row. What are you talking about? Width full. What? Wait a second. So this div has to go away, of course, no doubt. Then we got this section which has flex column. This doesn't need MD flex row, so this should still look like this. So that was the issue. When we don't have any items, this looks stupid. So if I go and delete or display none these cards, then it looks like this. So in this case, this whole guy, so we have main, this guy app users should have a display of block and width 100%, right? So this is what we need. So app users host display block with 100%. And there we go. Refresh. I think the only thing that there is this scroll, but I think it's much better now. So let's see what we changed. From the users, we changed the opacity and the button. So this guy, let's change that, and we change that into start. Oh, we changed that into final. So let's do this guy. Gonna go to our start folder, chapter 11, and user card. No, was this guy. So replacing this. What was the other thing? So user.component.html. Yeah, I think we changed this already. Then we also had user card component. No, nothing was changed here. Then we had the let's see. So final users, this was changed. That makes sense. Then we also had the user component from the start file. That also makes sense. Then this guy, we changed a lot of it. I don't think we do anything of that sort in the start file. So let's copy this. Yeah, I think this remains the same. So I'm going to copy this home thingy, or actually everything. And then let's go towards the start. And it is the users, right? So we changed that, and then also the CSS as well. So there was a CSS change. This guy, and we put that right here. No, users dot. So right here. Okay, so this is all of it. Let's close this. And let's verify if both of them look fine. So this is the starting app. Yep, looks fine. Everything is good in the beginning. If I click this, there we go. We see the back button. We remove it. We go here, back, and here as well. We can click back. Instantly, I mean, you will see that the whole experience is different. So this is much faster than the other one. Okay, cool. This one. just clicking this guy changes everything. You see? Okay, even in this case, I think if you go to Elfie's page, da, 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 but you see only the component, this component changes. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna commit this. Maybe I'll work on this later and work on the next recipe later on. All right, so let's wrap this up. I'm gonna push the code. Git add, git commit, speech ng on, or actually fix rather, on push strategy UI fixes, fixed the UI bouncing on the users list and detail page. Commit. I made a typo, so I'm gonna fix that. Git amend detail pages. Okay, now I can push. And now we can wrap up. So thank you everyone who watched and who liked the video. If you haven't done it already, do that. That really pushes the content out there. And I'm going to see you in the next video. There are a couple of things that are coming up, including the hack stack, which you already saw on the pages. I'm going to be sharing more about that when the time comes, but fingers crossed. We are super excited for what's coming with Hackstack Pakistan 2023. And also there are a couple of more things coming as well. So if you've not followed or subscribed to the channel, do it right now. And I'm going to see you in the next video. Take care. Allah Hafiz.